already, I would like to introduce the first speaker of today, Enis. Please welcome Enis for his presentation.
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I would like to thank the SwiNOG organization for giving me this opportunity to have a speech today. So my name is Enis Yorulmaz. I'm working for almost 1.5 years for the company named Infusion. I'm located in Vienna, and I'm responsible for sales and marketing activities for the DACH region. Today, I will have a brief overview about a new technology called Open Disaggregated Networking. And I'm around the whole day. If you have any questions, please do not hesitate to come to me. So I have prepared a very short agenda. I would like to talk about the history and about the ongoing developments in this new technology. First of all, so the history of network disaggregation, this is not a new concept, first of all. So this has started in the late 1980s. It has the roots of the personal computing and subsequent disaggregation in the hyperscale data centers. So initially, in the personal computing, there was the disaggregation, the separation of software and hardware components, which led to have an optimized PC builds, reduced costs, and creation of an ecosystem. So later on, late 90s, beginning 2000s, the story has continued in hyperscale data centers. With that, again, the data center operators were able to optimize their resources. They were able to reduce their costs and significantly improve the lead times. So as of now, all the big hyperscalers, including Amazon and Facebook and so on, they are using the open disaggregated networking technology for their entire global networks around the world. As of today, now the disaggregation of telecom networks is happening. It is the last frontier left in the so to say at this journey, and which is happening now. So let's compare very shortly the both architectures and the advantages and disadvantages. So as we all know, the legacy communication networking vendors are offering an optimized all-in-one solution, right? That has advantages such as it is available to buy, people know how to configure, how to build the networks, but often it comes with vendor lock-in, danger. And I'm talking every day to customers who are, so to say, afraid of being vendor locked, and there are always, so to say, up and down discussions where the costs are getting higher and higher. And in the contrary, the open networking solutions are offering, so to say, an open ecosystem where the customers would have the freedom to choose themselves according to their use case, according to their, so to say, lead time requirements. They can even buy the hardware directly from the ODM vendor if required. So the open networking value proposition is, as mentioned, it's breaking up the hardware dependency. The decoupling software from the hardware is helping the customers to set up a common, so to say, homogeneous network, which is totally hardware agnostic, right? With the help of this common NOS, network operating system vendors like IP Infusion, the operators are able to set up networks without compromising any feature by changing the hardware from one ODM to the other. And in the contrary of legacy vendors, we are also not restricting, open networking solution vendors are not restricting to use a specific optics or specific, so to say, variant of the network element. So basically, we are fully opening the interfaces and allowing the customers, our customers, so to say, to use the optimum devices, optimum solutions for their current network requirements and future demands. So now I would like to talk about the Telecom Infrastructure project. The founders of the Telecom Infrastructure project is basically the top 88, top 5 telecom mobile network operators, including Deutsche Telekom, Swisscom, Telefonica, and so on. And there are a lot of vendors contributing to this project. Within this project, there are subgroups which are working very actively on Open RAN, open local area networks, open wide area networks, open, so to say, transport projects, and so on. In regards to fixed networks, that's what I picked up from all of these projects. There are commercial certified products available as of now, where, for example, a nice example is the cell site router, which could be installed in a street cabinet as an access switch or as a, so to say, aggregation router. And there are also solutions for IP over DWDM. All these projects are driven by these top telcos, right? And as vendors, we are just driving the car according to their steering. And these are commercially available products and solutions available in the market. Moving forward, I would like to talk about a true open disaggregated ecosystem and their requirements. Most important thing is open networking is also bringing variation in terms of silicon, right? So there are solutions not only limited to Broadcom chips, there are solutions also equipped with Marvell chips, depending on the use case. There are several ODM partners available who are offering these white boxes. So the customers always have the freedom to choose the hardware according to the availability, according to the price, according to the number of physical boards, 1 gig up to 400, 800 gigs. And the good thing is there are solutions who are at the moment offering solutions for a lot of use cases, starting from cell site routers, going to the core aggregation, core provider edge, IoT, industrial IoT solutions, data centers, and OLT. And so far, a lot of open networking companies have also already certified dozens of optics, right? So these are at the moment out of the box. So you can work with flex optics. So we are also discussing project by project how we can cooperate together, right, and to do some joint activities. With that, I also would like to talk about this supply chain diversity, the benefits. As mentioned, this is very important to understand because there is always another ODM waiting around the corner. If one ODM is changing its mind, increasing the prices. So in this regard, that's a self-automated, so to say, market in terms of especially pricing. So if, for example, EdgeCore all of a sudden increases the hardware prices, there is exactly the same variant from UFI space or from Pegatron, and with the same specs, almost same specs, that could be an alternative solution. And as you will have the same NOS for different variants of the hardware, for the end user, it's going to be the same CLI, it's going to be the same northbound and southbound interface integration. So from operation point of view, it's going to be no change. So you will not compromise from any feature if you would like to change your ODM vendor. That is also reducing the lead times drastically. So without paying extra, you will have an alternative hardware vendor in your so to say ecosystem. If EdgeCore, for example, or UFI is not able to deliver on time, you have the plan B always in your pocket. Another important topic is as the open networking solutions are new, so the setup of the EMS and NMS systems are also covering the whole use cases. In other words, you can have a single network interface, network management system, where you could provision and manage multiple use cases: data center, segment routing, MPLS, data center interconnect, route optical networks from the same interface. So I'm an ex-CCIE, so in the past there used to be 4 or 5 different interfaces to manage all these different use cases. At the new technology, this is not the case. So there is an option for you to have a single interface to manage all these different use cases, to manage all these different hardware options equipped with different silicons. And in the next versions, for example, we will also enable the network provisioning features, testing, and so on. So it's work in progress. Having said that, all this, as said at the beginning, the network disaggregation in telcos is happening as of now. There are hundreds and thousands of customers who have evaluated the solution in their lab. Moreover, there are hundreds of deployments live. I'm talking about large networks who include thousands of network nodes. And a lot of companies like us at the moment are signing global frame agreements with large groups, top 5 telco large groups such as Deutsche Telekom, Orange Group, MTN, and initial rollouts are planned for next year. In smaller top 88, we are also having, so to say, the initial projects. In addition to that, even in this room, I have seen some faces who have already played with the open networking solutions in their lab. And I also see a face who has already used the open networking solution for its international backbone from another continent to Europe. So it is happening as of now. So of course it has its, so to say, benefits. It includes some, so to say, its disadvantages. At the end of the day, as vendors, we are here to help you, so to evaluate these pros and cons together and to come to a solution, hopefully. So that's it. So I was fast. Maybe there is time left for questions.
So we have plenty of time for questions. Do we have any? Yep. I'm going to walk over there.
Hi, thank you for your talk. I'm Will. I'm wondering if you said that you had like an integration to NMS softwares. Is that your NMS software? Do you have any way to integrate that in other NMS? Because I think about many companies who use Netbox, for instance, which is really flexible. And I'm not going to change my source of truth in my management. So I'm wondering what's going to be my option if I go your route with my NMS. Thank you.
That's a very valid question. First of all, thank you very much. So there are 2 options, of course. We fully support the, so to say, open netconf young interfaces, right, for northbound and southbound. So there is always the possibility to integrate to an existing OSS system. right? That is always possible, and that is going to be most of the time the case for brownfield deployments. For greenfield deployments, the options are there, right, on the table. So the customer can start with our NMS, or they can go to the, so to say, well-known OSS vendors, where we could act in the middle as an EMS and talking to OSS with the open interfaces and doing the job, while the customer is just to see a single interface. So this is part of the, so to say, offer. But the beauty is that you can manage all these different use cases from a single GUI without having a complicated OSS deployment. That all.
Any other questions? Yep, I'm coming.
Sorry, I don't know IP Infusion at all. So my name is Dan Nye, I'm from Swisscom. So your product is a network operating system, right? Is it open source? No. Then second question is, how do you prevent lock-in on your product?
So you are from Cisco? Swisscom, sorry. Okay, so the answer is as following. We are offering a network operating system. It's not an open source, right? That's true. For the end customer, there is always the possibility to swap our network operating system with another open disaggregated network operating system. That was the case, for example, in a project in Germany. The customer has started the journey with an ODM hardware with another NOS vendor. They were not satisfied with the performance of the vendor, and they swapped the NOS vendor. So they kept 80%, 90% of their investment in the network, which is the hardware all the time. So for the end customer, this is the beauty of this open networking. If it is a black box, you have to change the entire solution. So there is no possibility to install another network operating system on these devices. But in our solution, this is a white box. We also have competitors. So we have also, so it's also very normal that you are not aware of us. So we have just started our journey in this region. And that is my answer, right? So you will not get rid of the hardware, which is including 80 up to 90% of the initial CapEx investment. So you keep it in your network. But you have to start from scratch. That's true. That's a lot of work. I agree with you on that.
Any other questions? Okay, we have one.
Hi, I'm Rehan. Why use your network operating system as opposed to, for example, SONIC from Microsoft?
Okay, SONIC is, at the moment does not support MPLS, segment routing, and so on, this kind of routing functionalities. So if it is a straightforward leaf-spine architecture without these requirements, SONIC could be also an option, right? So that's no rocket science for SONIC, I agree. But as soon as you are talking about carrier-grade data centers where you would need MPLS, BGP, this kind of requirements to distinguish the different, so to say, customer networks and apply quality of service, then I think our NOS has far away better advantages compared to SONIC. And especially for wide area projects, SONIC could not be an option, right? Yeah.
One last question. We have a bit of time for that. Okay, if not, thank you very much.